Do you try to control and anticipate everything in your life? I'm going to share with you how to release that control. When you release control, life actually supports you more. It's one of those so familiar experiences that help us to deal with uncertainty and the unknown. And it's underpinned by fear. I am so familiar with this approach to life. I lived trying to control everything, and it served a purpose of helping me to feel safer. But it was not a comfortable way to live. Hi, I'm Ann Bex. For those of you that don't know me, I mentor and guide women who want more freedom to live their unique path. The interesting thing about control is that it's an illusion. Our worries and strategies are things that we employ to control anticipated circumstances which seem to work, and therefore it reinforces the controlling behavior. And controlling shows up in different ways. And this is not an exhaustive list by any means, but here's a few. Perfectionism, trying to make everything perfect, making backup plans for your backup plans, hypervigilance, keeping an eye out for everything, an eye on, attuned to everything in your world, feeling angry or irritated when things don't go as planned. Everything has a plan. You have very little comfort with spontaneity. If you find yourself nodding to these things like, oh yeah, check in the box, no shame. This isn't about, blaming yourself at all. This is about getting just aware and conscious that they actually are things that happen in our lives, and it's how we've learned to navigate, and it's about safety. So no blame is to be laid here. But the thing is, controlling behavior is very exhausting. It keeps our attention focused on preventing and avoiding certain outcomes. The more we try to control, the more it feels harder to stop. So the more invested we have become in navigating our life by controlling everything, it's actually harder for us to release and let go because it's been reinforced over years. Practice. Our nervous system says it's not safe to let go. The thing is, we can't control life. We can make decisions and choices, but even then, the outcomes may or may not go the way that we'd like. This whole idea of, of control is an illusion. Our real fear lies in a different place. It isn't about the circumstances or the experiences that we're trying to control. It isn't about that. It's actually a cover for a greater fear that lies beneath our subconscious awareness. That's why we don't really have access to it. These things happen in sort of a subconscious way, or maybe even unconscious way. Here's the thing. Learning to lean into the deeper fear is actually the path to being able to release control. Forcing yourself to release control isn't going to work, because actually what you're trying to do then is fight with the nervous system, and you're going to lose every time. So learning how to meet fear is what I would say. Learning how to be with fear, exploring fear as a messenger, developing a relationship with this nervous system that we have is the way that we can start to release our control, the behaviors that we do to control. And when we release control, we can start to trust life, allowing ourselves to say, okay, to the unfamiliar and the unknown. Choosing to live in the flow of life, which means saying yes to the things that light us up and no to the things that don't. This is surrendering control. This is listening to the nudges. It doesn't mean, passive and not doing anything. It means listening to ourselves, which is an expression of life. We aren't making us happen. Listening to this expression of life, which is, yep, this is for me. No, that's not for me. I don't know. Let me try this out. Releasing this control, which is essentially saying, I'm afraid of the unknown. If I don't do this, I don't know what will happen. This surrender to life is the most potent path to happiness, fulfillment, and peace. The more we trust life, the more we feel supported. So, as I've talked about this, where do you find that control pops up in your life? And can you give it a nod like, oh yeah, I see you. Know that it's a way that's helped you to survive, to feel safe. But there's a part of you that is wanting to grow. The nudges that you feel to step outside of that. The fatigue you feel from all the activity of trying to control. You can. There is a way for you to let go of that. Give this, controlling behavior that you find an acknowledgement. Acknowledge that it's there. And then see if you can find some compassion for yourself. Knowing that it's something that your brain, your nervous system, it's been constructed to actually serve you in some way. So I'm going to invite you to drop an emoji below, a thumbs up, if this resonates for you. If you can see that there are places in your life where you try to exert control. And of course, I always love to hear from you, so feel free to share it. And for my YouTube subscribers, if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to my channel below. And there's also a notification bell so that you can be notified when I drop a new video. So I invite you to subscribe and get notified. Great. I hope you have a great day, and see where you can acknowledge control and see if you can allow some release of that control.